Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm gonna drop this video real quick, waiting for my daughter to get out from her little function or whatever. Um, so I did go out today. Um, it was not the best for a Saturday. Figured, with all the the playoff football games and it being a weekend, I would do good. Um, it could have been better. Also, I don't know. I've gotten a new update this week. It's like the screen looks a little bit different. Like when it's like finding orders, and it says something completely different. It looks different. Um, so I mean, I don't know if what's going on with the app, but this whole week has been really really hard for me to even make $100 for the day. I don't know if there's just more dashers on. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's been really really hard for me to hit over 100. Um, but anyways, let me just go ahead and get into this real quick. So first, 11 o'clock this morning, I knew I had to do something with bring my daughter somewhere, and so I knew I was going to do kind of like a 2-part day. I was going to do like early afternoon, and then go back later on. So I started at 11 o'clock. I got this order at 11:05 for Einstein and Buffalo Wild Wings. Stacked order, 1850, 9.9 miles. Went ahead and took that, got on the board, $12 in tips. And honestly, this wasn't a bad offer. The only thing is people were ordering wings like crazy. Obviously, the very first football game today was the Denver Broncos, playing the Buffalo Bills. And because I live in Colorado, obviously, when the Broncos play, it is redonkulous, and that's kind of why I like going out, like when the Broncos have games, because you make a killing. So that's one of the reasons why I figured it would be a busy day today too. But yeah, I mean, the game wasn't until 2:30, and you can see this is 11 o'clock. People are already starting to order wings, and I think what it was is they were probably afraid the closer they got to the game, the later it was going to be for them to get their food. So people were literally ordering like hours before the game and probably just reheating them or something. I don't know, but I mean, the game didn't start till 2:30, and it was 11 o'clock, and I was getting mad wing orders. So like 30, 40, 50 count, wings, and obviously that was for the game, but, it was like 2 to 3 hours before the game even started. But anyway, so yeah, so this was stacked order 1850. Got that. It took 47 minutes, and that's only because I waited probably 11 or 12 minutes for the wings. Um, they had literally Buffalo Wild Wings. The lady behind the counter told me they had over 50 orders that popped up like right around between 10:30 and like 11:30. So it was like crazy, crazy. Like there was a line outside the door. It was ridiculous, honestly. Um, and then so I dropped that off. Got this order for Nieder's Bakery, $6.30 for 1.8 miles. I took it. It's just a mile and a half. Easy peasy. There you go, $24.80 for an hour and 20 minutes. Then back to Buffalo Wild Wings, $17.55 for 9 miles. I did take that order. I know people say, "Oh, 9 up and 9 back," but not really, because technically it's still in zone, and there's a bunch of restaurants over there as well, so I can just hang out over there and get something. And they have like pizza places and stuff over there as well too, that I could have gotten from. But and that's kind of what I did. I dropped it off and I hung off for a little while. I didn't get an order right away, so I just started traveling back down the zone, and then they found me an order pretty quickly. So, but yeah, 17.55, $14.25 in tips, which is pretty good for a single customer drop off. Almost $15 in tips. So did that. There you go, $42.35 for 2 hours. So now we're sitting at 21 an hour, for the first 2 hours. Then I got this one, 1905, 8 miles. Took that too, and that's Buffalo Wild Wings, and AI Sushi and Grill. And I actually reversed it. I went and picked up the AI Sushi first, and then I went to Buffalo because I figured Buffalo was going to have a weight on it. And I'm kind of glad I did that, because that way I was able to pick up from AI, and then by the time I got to Buffalo, it was only a few minutes and it was coming out, compared to having to wait. You know what I'm saying? So try to make better use of my time. So 8 miles, went and got that done, $61.40, and I quit it there for the first part of the day. Like I said, I had to bring my daughter somewhere. And I had to do something for my wife too. So I just, figured I would just end it there for my first part of the day. 3.5 hours, 4 out of 4. So took out every one of my deliveries, but it just wasn't a lot. It was only 4 deliveries, but they were all basically, stacked orders, and it was just forever waiting time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is, but still not too bad. 61:40, 3.5 hours. So the game hadn't even started yet. I ended at right like 2:25. The game started at 2:30. So without even the game starting, I still made almost $18 an hour. Miles, I drove 40.4 miles. So if you take the 61:40 divided by the 40 miles that I drove, comes out to $1.53 a mile. Not bad. So, for just a few hours, early on in the morning to the afternoon, I made, almost $18 an hour and $1.50 a mile. So not too bad. I went back out 5 o'clock. Kind of wish I didn't. I'll be honest with you. The orders were a lot better during the day. I went out at night. They were totally garbage. I mean, I actually ended my night a little bit earlier than I wanted to. I got this order. I declined it. It was $14.30 for 9 miles. If it was during the day, I would have took it. But I'm looking at the house icon. I'm looking at the location that it's going in, and it's just all like woodsy areas, like dark. No street lights. It's icy up there. I didn't want to deal with it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's still almost 10 miles for $14. It's not that great. So I declined that order, which I'm glad I did, because I got this one for 2.9. Chicken salad chick, $8.80 for 2.9. So I went ahead, I took that one. And then here comes all the garbage order. Dave's Hot Chicken, $5.30 for 5.7, decline. Red Lobster, $5.30 for 7.2 miles, declined. And then I don't know about you guys, but I know whenever I decline 3 in a row, they put me on timeout. I've actually tested that theory. Every single time I have declined 3 orders, they have not sent me another order for 30 minutes or more or longer. So it's a real thing, at least in my market. I didn't believe it at first. That's why I tested it a few times. So because I already declined 2, I didn't want to decline the next one unless it was really, really bad. And it was kind of garbage, but I mean, it was $11.80 for 8 miles. I took it. It was K-Bop Fusion and Neaters. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have took it, but I didn't want to be in, DoorDash jail for 30 minutes or longer. So I went ahead and just sucked it up, took 8 miles, and dropped both of these off for the $11. And then I took this Chipotle order. It was $5 for 2 miles. It's another crappy order, but this is what they're sending me now. And I'm just like, maybe it wasn't wise to come out, So there I am, $25.60 for 2 hours. Totally garbage. Then I got the Eric Bertels, $11.05 for 5.8 miles. I did take that. I forgot to take the screenshot after I dropped it off, but I kind of called it after that. I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. $36.65 is what I made for 2.5 hours. From 5 to 7:30. Usually when I'm getting the best orders during dinner time, I was getting nothing but hot garbage. So I ended it there. $36.65 divided by 2.5, only $14.66 per hour. Wasting my time. For the whole day, $98.05 by the 6 hours, $16.34. I can't even remember a time I made less than $17 an hour on a Saturday. It was just a horrible day to be out. I'm going to work all day tomorrow. So tomorrow better be better. It better be better, because I'm $98.05. I mean, it's only 6 hours. I mean, had I put in 10 hours, I mean, I probably could have made my 130, 140, maybe 150. I don't know. But yeah, it was total garbage. And then 25.7 is what I drove the second round. So, but that was what I made. $36.65 by the 25 miles, $1.46 per mile. The second go round, garbage. So, yeah, guys, it is what it is, man. Today was just not a great day to be dashing, apparently, but this whole week has been really, really bad. Quite honestly, I should have thrown the numbers up there for the week. I didn't, but it was really, really bad, horrible. Honestly, this week, I mean, I think I'm a little over $300. That's it. Um, I haven't been able to make over $100 a day. I mean, even in this day, I made what, 98. Normally, I would have made a lot more, even for 6 hours. I mean, I don't know. It just This week's been a really bad week, and I don't know if it's more drivers in this area. I don't know if it's a new update. Because before I used to get order after order. Now it's like I get an order and I got to wait 10 minutes to get another order. It never used to be that way in my market. Even a month ago, it was never that way. So I don't know if something new has changed or something's going on. Probably just more drivers. Honestly, I was talking to a driver the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I noticed that there's a lot of new faces I haven't seen, and he's been doing this longer than me, So I mean, he knows the area, a little bit better, and he knows a lot of the drivers, and he's like, "Yeah, I've seen a lot of new faces now, So I mean, it's probably just an uptick in drivers, I'm assuming, but I don't know. I'll test the theory out tomorrow. I'm working the whole day. I'm gonna put in 10 hours tomorrow. I got two good playoff games tomorrow. The Patriots are playing and the Rams are playing. So, I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be a good day. You know, Generally, if it's a bad Saturday, it's a good Sunday. That's how it's been in the past. So let's hope I can make $200 tomorrow. But I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys updated. But until then, you know what time it is, guys. Later.